Good evening. Welcome to Saturday night live RC chat. JMHRC and RC Basher Boy. Everyone's having a good Saturday evening. Get my stuff set up here. Got my working on some RC tires tonight. Green Frog, good evening. How's it going? I will put up the link if anybody wants to jump on the panel tonight. It's open for anyone. Got anything interesting you working on, Green Frog? I got me some new tires for my 6x6. I'm just working on modifying them. The Traxxas Canyon Trails. Taking out some of the pieces on them, make them look a little better. Get them mounted up on the 6x6, and if the weather ever clears, take it out for some testing. But sadly, we got crappy weather.
Okay. What you need?
Good evening, KB. How you doing?
Hey, good evening. All right. I don't think I got my camera on.
Good evening, KB. How you doing?
Oh, you're all right. I gotta get...
I got Greenfield. I've got the steering wheel printed. I got to try and reprint the gear shifters for that interior. Okay. I tried printing and it didn't come out.
Okay. I'm trying to get my camera on. I don't know what's going on with it.
Nothing yet.
It looks like I won't be getting to do too much tomorrow because of weather, so I'll probably spend the day playing with the 3D printer.
Yeah, we had a bad storm the other day. Big hail and all kinds of stuff. Tornado.
Wow.
Yeah, tore down old building. Building was there for like 200 years. Tore it down. Tornado hit it.
Holy cow. That sucks.
Yeah.
Sadly, our weather is not like that. It's just raining. I was hoping to go crawling tomorrow, but it don't look like it's going to be good enough weather.
Yeah, good. It's good to rain the day before you go crawling, then you can go mudding.
I'm not much of a mudder myself.
Nah.
Nah. If I have the option, I prefer not to. It can be fun. I will say it can be fun. I just don't like all the cleanup.
Cleanup, yeah. Looks like my camera's not working.
I mean, I don't mind like driving through water.
Right.
Some water. I prefer not to drown the vehicle in it. but I mean, I have done it, but yeah, I just don't want all the cleanup.
Yeah, I've gone through a couple of big puddles, but not, I've seen some videos where they put the camera on and just drive in the water and you can see.
Yep. Yeah, he disappeared there on us. I'm sure he'll be back. Probably hit the wrong button. So I'm got these Traxxas Canyon trails, and I'm working on taking out nubs on them. This is right there's stock. I'm taking them out there. I found doing that, and I wasn't the one that found it. It's frequent online mod to do these canyon trails, and I found doing that makes them hook up really, really well. So I'm very pleased with the way they perform with doing that. So these have definitely become my honestly tire of choice for my crawlers. The Traxxas TRX4 Blazer comes with them. I've modified those. I put a set on my V1 Gen 8. Have not modified those, but have a set on it. And then I bought these for my Axial 6x6. So hoping to get these on there and test them out here soon. The stock tires on the Axial 6x6 aren't good. Full Gear, how's it going? Welcome, welcome. It's going good. Just sitting here working on some tires. Hanging out. We'll have Beanfield on here in a few minutes. He was on and then disappeared. I imagine he hit the wrong button. I'm sure he'll be back on in a few minutes. It's an open panel tonight, so anybody if wants to jump on, I've posted the link in the chat. You're free to hop in. No real major topic for tonight. Just whatever comes up. Just working on these tires and got one done and 5 more to do. Air Beanfield's back with us.
Yeah, the camera's messing up, so.
Okay. I'm just working on these tires and pulling out. Helped a buddy of mine today pick up a car and went and had lunch, and then I come home and it crashed.
I seen that video the other day with you running through them stage competition 1, right? Stage 1, that little truck.
Oh, yeah, the one from Tuesday, my trail walker.
Yeah, that was pretty good. Them gates were pretty tight. Some of them gates, like, man.
Yeah. Last night my video went up for my class 2 run from that event, which unfortunately I lost a lot of footage. I'm not sure how, but I lost most of my footage from that. So I only have like one full stage and part of another stage, but I also had footage from the awards, and I finished second in that class that day.
That's cool.
But yeah, some of those stage 1 gates typically are around 11 inches wide. I think it is 10 or 11. I think it's 11.
Yeah, they put them in some place. They're like, what? How's he going to get through there, down that hill and around in there? Now, I guess you get you get deducted if you get back up, right?
Well, it depends on the rules and where you're competing at. Where I compete at, you can back up without any penalty. If wherever you compete at is strict SORCA, yes, reverse is a penalty. We do not go by that. Yeah, in my area, most people look at it as, hey, if I was out 4-wheel driving in a real 1-to-1, if I need to back up, I back up. There's not like
right.
And I mean, I'm not a real 1-to-1 crawler person or off-roader, but I just agree. Like if I need to back up, I need to back. I mean, it shouldn't. I personally don't feel like you should be penalized for it. Maybe at you get to a certain level of competition, I guess I could maybe see it making sense. So you make it more distinct or something, I guess. But when you're sort of, in my opinion, when you're competing at the local level, it should be a little bit more about fun and getting out there. And it can be stressful competing. I know my first 3 or 4 times competing, I was extremely stressed. And you're trying to do good, and any penalty you get. I mean, with us, it's a little bit more about time. So the quicker you can get through the course in the least amount of time, and then hitting a gate adds like 2 minutes to your time. So like a gate really hurts.
Yeah, that's a lot of time, that in 2 minutes. How long does it usually take through to get a course? 10, 15 minutes?
It depends. We have a 10-minute limit technically, so you got to do it in under 10.
10 minutes.
It really depends. It really depends on the course. Truthfully, let's see, in class 2, I think that day everything was under 6 minutes, and I even had some that were like 3.5 minutes.
Oh, okay.
And the pro guys, like Exocage RC, depending on the course that day, I mean, there's times that they're doing it in like 2 minutes, depending on the course.
Yeah, so hitting a gate, and it's 2-minute penalty,
Yeah, I mean, it makes a difference.
Yeah.
I'm trying to remember, and it's in the video, but I think the difference between me and second place and first place, I think I had like a 34 something was my total time, and he was a 28 something, I believe. So,
do they go like I used to play pool on a pool tournament team, and they have like 2s and 3s and 7s on your, well, I guess they don't, because you're not on a team, are you? You're just by yourself, right?
Yeah. I'm just you're competing. Everybody's competing against everybody.
Yeah, ready. Class. Yeah, that's pressure when you're playing pool and you're playing against a 6 and you're a 2. You always got to play when you're a 2, because there's so many. You can only have so many people play at night. It has to add up to so many different points.
For sure. Trail Crawlers RC, welcome. Hope you're having a good evening. We're just open panel tonight. Anybody wants to join? I've posted the chat, and hanging out. I'm working on some tires. And
are you trying to put the bead locks on?
No, they're already on. I'm modifying the these are Texas Canyon Trails, so I'm modifying the hold on a second. They have these nubs right here in them, and I'm taking out, let me spin it here. Yeah, right here you can see where I've taken them out, that nub. It gives a little bit more space in between them, and they hook up much better. Dennis, how's it going? Yeah, I didn't recognize the Trail Crawlers RC. So yeah, I'm just taking these nubs off, and it really makes a difference on these tires. I really like these tires a lot. That's actually these are the tires I run on my Class 2 competition rig. I mean, this exact brand, not this exact set. I bought a new set, set of 6 for my Axial 6x6. So I'm modifying those.
I'm looking to try to get a hard body. I don't know what I want to get one of them Jeeps, but you got to cut the interior up so much,
Yeah. Yeah, these came already mounted on tires, on wheels. they're glued on, but it's run with those. They've proven to be pretty good, and they got a fairly stiff foam, and the 6x6 has got a little bit of weight to it. I think,
Come on, baby girl.
I'm hoping it'll be just right with these foams, especially after they break in just a little bit. Dennis, you got anything going on tonight? You been working on anything?
Is your Traxxas 6x6?
Not a Trax, just axial.
Oh, it's an
Unimog.
Axial. It's a Unimog.
Yeah. Understand, Dennis. Hope you feel better, sir. We got what, 29, 28 days till Stone Mountain. That's another reason I'm trying to get these tires done, because I'm pretty sure I'm gonna take my 6x6 to Stone Mountain with me. I gotta decide what rigs I'm gonna take to that. Working on feeling better. I understand that's an important one. So
Yeah.
definitely take it yourself there, Dennis.
I just went to the skateboard park a little while ago, and there was kids on it, so I went over to do some bashing on the swing set.
Mhm.
And then I came home, and I'm like, man, there's something going on with my truck. I looked at it. It was a Stampede. I almost bent the shock at 45 degrees, man. It was all tore up. Like, oh, man, the front shock.
Was
I'm
this
gonna put
on
a
your
video on.
Stampede?
Yeah, I haven't posted a video on it yet. Well, I posted a video for the skateboard park, but not when I broke it. So I didn't break it. I bent it really super bad.
Gotcha. That's one thing I want to do that I haven't done, and that's I haven't taken any of my bashers to a skateboard park yet, and I really need to. I want to, which my Max is my biggest, probably my best basher, and I need to get at least one new wheel, if not two new wheels for it before I take it, or tires. But that's one thing I've not done, but I've seen so many people's videos on bashing at RC or skate parks. It looks like so much fun.
Yeah. Yeah, our park is not, skateboard park's not big at all, but it's fun.
There's actually, in my general area, like, there's actually quite a few different ones. If some of them I got to drive to, but there's a selection, I guess I could say.
I tell you what, one bad thing about the skateboard park is your RC is like an ice cream truck. It attracts kids, man. There will be if there's no kids around there, you'll have as many kids at the RC that they'll be there watching you.
Yeah. Well, I'm also like one of the things I've thought about is I'm like, I mean, my Traxxas Max is pretty robust. It takes a beating. Knock on wood, I really haven't broken much on it, but I'm just like, man, I could see me breaking some stuff at the skateboard park.
Yeah.
Big difference between landing in grass and dirt than landing on concrete the wrong way.
Well, I broke the screw that holds the little guard for the shock in the front into the A-arm there. I broke it in the A-arm, so I said, well, I'm just going to upgrade and get some RPM. So I got some RPM. I think that's what they're called, the A-arms that come out holds the tire on and everything.
Yeah.
So now I'm going to get some RPM green ones, so they're on order. And then I bent the shock real bad.
I definitely need to get me at least one tire, if not a full set, for the Max, and then I need to take it out and do some bashing. I got new batteries for it that I've only used one of them so far, so I need to get it out.
Are they just old, or you just tore them up so much?
The tires, yeah, they're the stock tires, and they're known for what they call it, pizza cutting wheels. You know, you're in the air spinning and flipping, they expand out and look like a pizza
Yeah.
cutter.
Yeah.
And when I was at USTE in the Basher Park, jumping it first created a small hole and it slung the foams out of the one tire, and I just kept running it. And by the time I was done with it, like there was pretty much an tire left, and I was still jumping it even with that. And I just actually haven't ran it since USTE in February. It's just been sitting on the shelf. And I went to one hobby store last weekend. I was looking for tires. They didn't have any. And I need to go to this other one that I haven't actually ever been to. It's on the other side of town, and I just didn't make it over yet. So I could order some online, and that's what I normally do, but trying to support the local hobby stores when I can.
Yeah, I heard that. I go down there and see if they have it first, and then if they don't, I get it offline.
There's one I haven't been to yet, hobby store that I've been wanting to check out, and I was told they will have it. What I'm looking for. Been holding out.
Yeah, we used to have 3, but the one down in Austin closed, and now we just got one on the outside of Austin, and then one close to my house. Used to be in a Radio Shack. Used to be a Radio Shack in that store.
You used to see Radio Shacks all over the place. I haven't seen a Radio Shack in a long time.
Yeah. It's like there's an H-E-B, that's a big grocery store, and then there's like a little strip center, and they got places, the hobby shop, and like a UPS store and stuff like that.
Hey, Brian, how's it going?
Hey, guys.
Hey, Brian.
Hey, man.
What you working on tonight? Working on anything?
That's what I was getting together before I jumped on.
Yes, about time.
That way you guys can hold me accountable.
There we go. Because you're gonna have that together by Stone Mountain, right?
Oh yeah.
All right.
Boy,
That
they put a lot of holes in them shock towers, don't they?
Yep. For
adjustment. Yeah, it's crazy, man.
Hey, Dennis. Actually, I'm glad you mentioned that. I've actually heard or seen that somewhere else before, and that's something I want to do. It's funny with the ballooning. I heard it helps the vehicle rotate in the air, but of course it's hard on the tires. But something I'm going to look at trying. So thanks for reminding me on that. Yeah, I'm working on my tires. I still got to decide what I'm taking to Scale Mountain. I don't know if I should bring my Predator to Scale Mountain, or if I should just bring more of my trail style trucks.
How do you do a bag flip?
So it's
I'm trying to do one on my Stampede, but it's not doing too good.
Your Stampede 4-wheel drive or all-wheel drive?
It's
4-wheel drive or 2-wheel drive?
It's 4-wheel drive.
It's with wheel speed. So I mean, when you go up in the air like jump, just keep the throttle full throttle, and the wheels spinning will
bring it back around.
Yeah, but it does take some wheel speed. And if the tires do balloon, it actually seems to help. In theory, you can reverse it in the air and make it do a frontwards flip. Frontwards flips tend to be a little harder to do, but
I tried that and it just, I hit that brake and it just went poop right on the top. Yeah.
Yeah. It's and you need it to go full reverse is what you need it to do. So the tires are spinning the opposite way to rotate it. I think I've done one frontwards flip. Like my Traxxas Max, I can do with not much air. I can do 2 to 3 back flips easily, but with the same amount of air, I'm lucky to get one front flip. It's just it's a lot more harder, but you use that throttle control, even if you're just jumping and you want to keep it level or land level or whatever, you know, you let it keep it full throttle, let it pull the front end up, and as you come down, stop the throttle and it should level itself back out. Easier said than done, especially when you're doing multiple flips in the air and that thing's going 40, 50 miles an hour. It's a whole lot easier said than done. Take some practice. It is fun though. I think at UST, I pulled 4 flips, off in one jump. Rotations, maybe is a better way of putting it.
I just put that new spur gear on there. I mean, pinion gear on there. And the guy at the hobby shop says it's probably about as fast as a 2S because I don't run LiPo. So he said it's probably about it's pretty close to a 2S.
Are you still on the brush system, or are you brushless?
Yeah, I got the brush system. It's still stock. I was thinking to go to brushless, but it's like putting gas in putting regular gas in a Porsche. I don't run LiPo, so it's like.
Yeah, I don't know how it would do, brushless would do, or if it will even run. I'm not saying it won't. I just don't know how it would do. Not on LiPo.
I know we early on when the Castle Sidewinder stuff first came out and the original Mamba, we were running nickel cells, and if you didn't run like a 7 or 8 cell, if you could get away with a 6 cell regular one, but they had to be like real high quality cells. So you'd have to run like a 7 or 8 cell pack to get about what a 2S battery would put into it.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
I finished one more tire to sort of show. Here's 2 next to each other, and one has the nubs replaced, one doesn't. If y'all can tell that or not. The difference, it opens them up, particularly right.
Oh yeah.
Right. Really makes a difference on those tires. Brian, what are you bringing to Stone Mountain? You bringing Predator and one of your other Gen 8s?
Well,
well, that's right.
I've got,
Predator is the other Gen 8. I keep forgetting that.
Yeah, I'm bringing both the crawlers, the trail truck and the comp truck, and then I'll probably bring a basher, a / 4-wheel drive basher, and it seems like here lately, man, there's been a bunch of drag racing popping off after events that I've seen on Facebook and stuff. So I'll probably bring a couple drag cars in case something like that happens.
Sweet. I actually would like to see some of that. I've actually never seen in person any drag racing. So if something happens, that'd be cool to see.
Well, I'll bring you a car to run so you can join us.
Okay. Yeah, so I'll probably bring. I guess I'll bring the Predator. Don't know if I'll run it. I'll bring it. I'll probably bring the Axial 6x6. Maybe my V1 Gen 8. But I may leave the V1, bring the TRX4, but I'm also want to sort of bring the Element too. So I don't know.
Oh, yeah.
That's the problem is I've got so many decent rigs to take. Which I know me and you are talking about maybe hitting it back up on Sunday. So
well, the cool thing that I noticed when we went in December was that if you decide on one truck to go all the way to the top and back, that's cool. But right before you even get to the trail that takes you up to the top, you could probably spend 3-4 hours just right there around the flagpoles. There's a bunch of stuff to climb and mess with right there close to the parking lot.
Sweet. And Dennis says he's bringing about 10 trucks. Okay. Hey, Dennis, when are you heading back? Are you heading back Sunday, Monday? Do you know? That's good to know.
Was it a mile to the top?
I don't know how far it is.
I was seeing if it was like a mile or 2 to the top. Or...
I'm not 100% sure what the distance was, but with the group that we had in December and the weather, it was like 18, 19 degrees. We started at, I think it was 10, and we were done by 2, and that was with the whole group going at least 3/4 of the way. A smaller group went all the way to the top and met the rest of the group back down at the 3/4 mark and came on down.
Yeah.
All right, you're there till Monday, Dennis. Where me and Brian's talking about maybe going back Sunday morning and doing like a quick run Sunday morning to the top and back. And since he's been there, he was saying like with just a couple people, we could go to the top and back in a pretty quick time. Thinking about definitely doing that and allow me to run a different rig and get some extra video and get them, enjoy that place because I hear so much good stuff about it. And actually, I'm also I hadn't told you this, Brian. Just looked it up right before I got online. So I know that there was an event, Wet and Wild, I think it was too, that was in March that was done in like around I think it was just outside of Macon or whatever. It's this place called Flat Rock, and I know 11 Charlie was there, and they were like, "Hey, this place is awesome." And I've seen some video. I know it's got some water crossings and a lot of slick rock. I thought it was closer to the interstate, but it's technically on my way back, and I'm thinking about like leaving Monday morning and stopping there, maybe crawling for a couple hours, and that'll split up my drive since it's about a 5-hour drive for me. Split up my drive, give me some extra video, see another place that I've heard some really good things about. I don't know. I gotta do some more clocking on the maps.
Yeah, that the Wet and Wild event, I think that was a pretty big event. There was a lot of talk about it on Facebook. There are a lot of good pictures.
So Dennis saying that, him and Wayne were talking about that, or maybe the park close to him, so you don't have to pay again to get into the park. Do you know what park that is? I also know that what's that guy's called? There's a guy up in northern Georgia, has his own backyard park, RC crawler course.
I've heard about it. I don't know who it was though.
I follow him on Facebook, but I know he's got an RC called Mr. Pickles. I remember that. One of his RCs is called Mr. Pickles. Let me see. I'm gonna try to see if I can find him on. And I know he lets people come and crawl if you reach out to him. I reached out to him when I was up in northern Georgia, but by the time I heard from him, it was not that I didn't hear from him, it was my internet connection. I didn't realize he'd gotten back to me, and I wasn't able to work it out. I'm trying to see if I can.
Brian, is that a chop saw behind you?
Yes, sir. Old Ryobi one.
Yeah, I got one just like that.
I went through the trouble of building this bench back here for that chop saw, and when I got done with the bench, I realized, well, I'm not going to be cutting anything else with a chop saw for a while, and like really have not even used it since I put it on the bench.
Yeah, we got a wood shop. It's like we only bring it outside if we got to cut metal. Don't use it in the wood shop.
I'm looking for this.
Hey, Jack, I see Jack's on.
Good evening, Jack. Yeah, I missed his good evening, sir. Let's see here. Not that one. I know I follow him on YouTube too, so I gotta see if I can find the name of this place. Let's see.
Brian, do you have any hard bodies?
I don't. I've got the 2 stock Gen 8 bodies, and
Yeah.
I bought the Proline Cliffhanger body this past week for my for this Predator build.
Are you gonna have the body painted by then as well?
I hope to.
Nice.
Yeah, I don't know which one I'm gonna get. A Jeep or a Bronco, something. I know the Jeeps you gotta cut a lot out in the interior.
And totally not fine.
There's a real cool Ford F-250 hard body, but it's 3D printed. I looked on eBay, $260 or something like that. But it comes with everything, the doors and the bed and the man, that is really cool.
Okay. And 3D printing stuff can hold up pretty good. So.
How long does it take you to print? Does it take you to print a long time? Like the front seat?
Those seats, those seats were about 8-hour print job.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I mean they're pretty good size too. I don't know if you can tell. Here I can show them. This is the seats.
Oh yeah.
Oh man,
they're pretty good size. But yeah, that these combined together is 8-hour job. And then I don't remember on the dash how long it was on the print. I can't quite remember. I don't think it was 8 hours. The steering wheel, which it needs a little bit of cleanup on the edge here around it, but the steering wheel wasn't very long. The box here for your AC.
Yeah, that'll work good.
This is exactly the size you gave me. I scaled it to exactly that size. So this, I think this was a little over an hour. I think.
But that's not solid, right? It's just not solid.
It's sorta semi. It's not completely solid. Yeah, it's okay. You'll be able to tell. There's one side of it. You'll be able to tell. It prints these like hexagon openings through the middle, so it's not completely solid, but a little bit. The seats are pretty solid on the seats, which is part of the reason it took as long to do. I actually did this cooler that I did, and I actually did this. I downloaded this file thinking this might work for you, for your thing, and I thought it was much smaller than it is, and obviously it was way too big.
Oh yeah, for the air conditioner. Yeah,
because there's and I'm like, oh wow, and this one took I think 4 or 5 hours, and even from a scale perspective, I think it's a little too big for a cooler, and it's pretty solid. I didn't realize it was going to be as solid as it was.
Yeah, that Ford F-250. It's like, well, you'll have to take a look at it. You just have to go on eBay and type in 3D printed F-250 bodies. Yeah. It's crazy.
And even AZ Froggies.
They got a
stuff yourself. Nice.
They got a. I guess you can download the program for $60.
Oh, there's programs that are free out there. I'm actually both the programs I'm running right now are free.
I think he means the file for the body.
Oh, yeah, the file for the body.
Oh, okay. Sorry. Yeah. I actually found on Thingiverse, I don't know, I can't remember what size. I found a couple hard body 3D printed hard bodies. I can tell you my 3D printer I have is the only hard body I'd be able to print would be either a 124 scale body. There's a small possibility if the body was in pieces, you know, that I might be able to do a 1/10, but not likely. Mine's just not big enough.
Yeah, that
thing.
file was in 1/10. It was all pieces, all different pieces.
Like I downloaded some files. I wanted to, and I'm still going to play with it. I want to do a 3D printed trailer. But unfortunately, the trailer I would want lengthwise, I can print most of the pieces, but there's one piece that my bed on my printer is just not big enough. And my buddy upgraded to a bigger one, and I asked him about his, and his is not quite, almost, but not quite big enough to print that piece. So I can print a smaller one, and I still might do it just to do it. But I already have a trailer that's basically the size of the smaller one. I want a bigger trailer, so so I don't know, because I want a gooseneck to pull behind the 6x6. I thought about printing the gooseneck piece and seeing if I can attach it to my current trailer, and that's definitely an option.
What kind of glues they use to do that? To hook, stick them? Is that just regular model glue?
No, I don't think. I think the trailer I was looking at, I think uses actually screws to hold it together.
Screws.
AZ Froggy, I have a flash forged. I'm not sure the model actually at the moment. Forged printer, which does pretty good. I got lucky. My buddy figured out most of the settings stuff, so I haven't had to go through some of the troubles that some people have to go through in getting settings set up. Even though I had to change my filament, and I stayed with the same kind of filament, same brand, just changed the color because the color I was using, white, wasn't available, and went to a gray. And just changing color but the same filament, I still had to change my some of my temperatures to get it to print right. And that's the problem I've been having, Beanfield, with this stuff, is I just switched my filament when I started trying to print this stuff for you, and I've had some issues with some stuff and had to play with the settings.
Yeah, that's fine. I know you were had white, and then I looked at it and I said, "Oh, that's gray."
Yeah, I wanted black, to be honest. Like
like, is he primering my stuff?
No.
Send it to me.
Yeah, so I wanted black filament, but actually when I ordered it, they didn't have any black, so I got the gray.
You get that from Amazon, or?
Yeah, there's a bunch of places you can get it from, but yeah, Amazon's where I tend to get it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be honest, AZ, I don't know a lot about 3D printers, so I'm still learning. So all the brands, I'm not that familiar on it. Yeah, I'm at currently on the white filament. I was at a 215 temperature, and I had to drop down to 208 on this gray filament.
What size did it? It has different diameters too, right? The filament, I'm sure, right? What size is?
Yeah, I believe there is different. And I'm gonna be honest, I don't know. I gotta find the filament information on the filament. I don't know it off the top of my head. My buddy, you know, again, I got sort of spoiled. He gave me this unit not that long ago, and he's like, "Here's the filament you want to run," basically. And
he's just been ordering it.
No, I ordered it I've only put my first roll on it because it came with a good amount. But he just sent me a link. Here's the filament that you're running. Here's the different colors. I mean, they have an orange and they have green and stuff. He prints in whatever color he can find. All 3 rolls for $45. That's a great price, because I think I paid right at $20 for 1 roll of filament. That's a really good price there, AZ. So yeah, my buddy, he will just print whatever is the cheapest that he can get in the kind of filament he wants. He will print. He printed me something one time in a green, which I painted it, so it wasn't a big deal. And then like he printed these are bushings actually for a car, for a transmission shifter. And this is a blue filament that he was using. He prints and whatever. I guess you could say a little picky when it comes to colors. I mean, the white actually has not been bad, and it's easy to paint the white.
Is that shifter linkage bushings?
Yes, this is for particularly for my Cavalier, but it's to at the shifter at the transmission. It's a bushing to take up some slack. There's some natural slop in it. Specifically, this piece right here is probably the bigger piece that will take up most of the slack. But yeah, that's exactly what.
That's pretty cool. You can put stuff in your regular car.
Oh yeah, you can do all kinds of stuff.
Man, that would be worth it to get a 3D printer just for me to fix this Eclipse we got, because it's getting hard to find those shift cable bushings.
Yeah. So yeah, my buddy actually, it was probably a year or two ago. He actually created these. I have another set in a white material that he created. I think it's upstairs, and again, to take up the slack, there's just natural slop at that part of the transmission linkage, and we're like, hey, he's like, I think I can, tighten it up. And actually, I had people interested who was going to buy these. The problem is we haven't been able to test it, and I had the off-road car that I've been off-road racing. I could put it in that. The problem is installing these with the transmission in the car is almost impossible. And now I got to pull the motor out of that car. So while that's happening, we're gonna install these so I can actually test them, see that they work.
See the durability, right?
Yep, exactly.
Well, that's what you need to do in the off-road car. Then if it lasts in that, it'll last in the
the street car. It should be easier. Exactly. So we should be putting those to the into the test in the next probably month or two, I'd say.
It's too bad I still didn't have my Doom buggy. I would have been 3D printed all kinds of stuff with that thing. I'm sure.
Yeah, I go through Thingiverse sometimes and just save different stuff to print. And last weekend I was my son. He's 8. He's gotten into he's into boats. Like Navy boats and stuff like that. So he's bought a couple models, and of course, his first model he gets like a hard one, not an easy one. I mean, a hard one that's even like, okay, I'm like, buddy, this is going to take me a while to put this together. So we went to the hobby store. I took him to the hobby store, and he bought a much easier, and it was a 2-in-1, two models in one kit, and I put those together last Saturday for him, and one was an aircraft carrier. He loves aircraft carriers, but it doesn't come with any planes. So I'm like, all right, found some on Thingiverse, print one out, and of course the plane is wider than the ship. So I've been trying to scale those down to get it, and so I printed 3 different ones. And he was with me the other day, and I showed them to him. He goes, "Oh, this is perfect." I'm like, no, but I'm trying to explain to him. He's 8. He doesn't understand the scale part. He thinks it's cool. It looks good, and I'm trying to explain to him, like, no, if we set this on the aircraft carrier, it's going to take up a spot for like 4 airplanes. Like, it shouldn't be that wide. And I think I finally got him to understand it. So I still got to scale it down. Good evening, RC Basher Boy. How's it going, Gabe?
Hey, good evening, Basher Boy.
So that's been the cool thing is I've printed some cool stuff for different people. I printed something for my dad, actually something for my mom, because she's into horses. Brent, Venture Time, how's it going? Good evening. Brent, we got 28 days.
And then models, man, they are not cheap anymore either. It's like, man, I used to go in there and get them for $5 or, now they're $20. Crazy.
I used to do a lot of models when I was young, little older than my son. Like, I did a space shuttle and some airplanes. And to be honest, I hadn't really done a model in a long time. So like working on these models with him, I'm like, man, it's been a long time since I've done a model. I'm having to break out some skills that, or figure the skills out that I don't remember from when I used to do it.
I can tell you a model story. I used to go spend 2 weeks with my dad and for Christmas. My mom and dad got divorced when we were young, and he got me a model for Christmas, and I was building it. And then we took off, and we came back, and their poodle pooped in the model box. Like, oh, what are you doing?
Wow.
My model.
Yeah. Adventure Time, that's right. Adventure Time does a lot of models. He was saying, yeah, they are expensive. He builds a lot of models.
It used to be that you could go, well, at least around here, the local Walmarts would have them, and they were like $9-10 when I was doing them.
Yeah.
And they had like a wide selection. It was like every time we'd go back to get another one, I couldn't make up my mind which one I wanted to do.
Yep.
You can't even buy them no more.
Yeah, another problem.
And then, like you were saying about your son picking out one of the most.
Yep, the hard ones. Yeah, I'm also having a problem.
My kids did the same thing to me. They picked out some kind of Army transport unit from the 40s. I can't remember the name of it, but anyway, it's still in the box in the closet because I just haven't felt that adventurous yet.
Yeah, my other problem I'm having with my son is he sees these models and they're cool, right? I mean they are, but he thinks they're toys. So like I put together the aircraft carrier and I put together the USS North Carolina battleship, which was cool because we actually went on the USS North Carolina. Last year in 2020, we actually visited and did a tour of it. So he's actually been on that ship, so he knows that. But he thinks it's a toy, and like he takes the aircraft carrier and he puts it in his book bag and takes it to school. And of course, part of it breaks off. I'm like, buddy, it's a toy. It's not a toy. It's a model. You can't just put it in your book bag and expect it to be okay. He wants to play with them and everything, and I'm like, they're not made for playing, buddy. But I guess we were probably all that way at one point.
Put in built-in fireworks with them, and as soon as you get done building them, boom.
That's actually, I said something to him. I'm like, hey, can I take some firecrackers and we shoot firecrackers or bottle rockets at it? He's like, no, Dad, no. I'm like, that'd be cool. Put an M80. I can wire it. Put an M80 inside it. Put it on top of the water, light the fuse, and blow it up. I think that'd be cool, but he didn't think so. Yeah, so Adventure Time Brent's working on, looks like he just finished up one and he picked up a Mr. Gasser. Sounds cool. Brent, I just watched your video with the 6x6 right before I got on. I'm actually working on my tires for my Axial 6x6 right now.
I think the only model I have left is my 72 Oldsmobile Cutlass model. I got it because of my car. I duplicated it. And I got little Beavis and Butthead figurines looking at it.
Yeah, I don't have any of my models that I had done when I was in my teens. I do have a model of I need to finish. It's I think an Impala, and it's actually one of the a car builder.
Chip Foose.
A Chip Foose one, which I didn't do it the colors of his. I wanted to do my own color. But yeah, it's one of those I need to finish. I started it a few years ago and I painted the body, and actually the body didn't come out that well. I need to do some wet sanding and respray, and sort of stopped there.
Them little small Axial, what are they, 124 scales? They work
Yes.
good. They work good. You take that top off and you put the model body on it.
Yeah.
They work really good for the model bodies. Yeah.
I still have the last model that I did personally, not one that my kids picked out. It's the 2-in-1. I think it was Monogram that made the 2-in-1 models that you can either do it stock or like the street tuner version of the Integra.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, you know, I did it in the early 2000s, so of course it was a street tuner version.
Nice.
Highlighter blue and neon green valve cover, and as tacky as I could get it.
Brent, I'm looking forward to seeing these scale buildings and signs that you're bringing for Scale Mountain. That's going to be cool.
I had one of them other 124 scales. I forgot the name of them. The RC car, and I had an old Mustang model body, and I fabbed it onto the RC car, and it looked really cool. I gave it to the girl down at the hobby shop. It was all messed up, wouldn't run in. There was something wrong with it. Let her fix it.
Yeah, I'm getting excited for Scale Mountain. There's going to be so many people there. I mean, we got Brent from Adventure Time, Dennis going. He's saying I got a covered bridge and a garage and an outhouse done so far. Sweet, a covered
Everybody
bridge.
needs a house.
That's going to be, that covered bridge will be sweet. I'm definitely looking forward to that event. I think Tony from CCXRC is going, I believe. That should be a good time that weekend. I have to tell you, I've been putting off cutting these nubs on these tires. It took me like 2 days to do one tire, and I've already done two tires in basically just an hour. Need to have more live streams just so I can do these tires. I still got 3 more to go.
I know what you mean. I put a aluminum skid plate in the bottom of my van, axial trail honcho. And I'm like, oh, it's going to be easy. And I had to take the whole thing almost all apart, take all the side off and everything. Like, man.
Yep. And Brent, that video from USTE, that onboard footage, that little camera you got did a great job on that onboard footage on that one trail. I think 6 it was maybe or something like that, but that was a really good footage. I think for you, Brian, I need to bring this with me for you.
You print that?
Yep, this is a like thumb control for remote. Slides over the stock remote. I want to say 52 millimeter or something like that, I think. So I've got this. I need to print another pinion holder.
I've got the receiver for you too. I'm still getting a run around from Gropner, so but hopefully that'll be resolved by May.
Yeah, Brent, I'm looking forward to seeing the Buffalo in person. That'd be cool. I think I'm bringing my 6x6, probably my Comp 2 rig, probably TX4 Blazer, and then probably my Element Trail Walker. That's probably be the rigs I bring. Oh no, I may bring the Gen 1 too. Yeah, Brent, I got a 3D printer. I had it when I was at USTE. My buddy upgraded his, and I inherited his, so I've had it just a few months now. So I'm still experimenting and stuff. I've 3D printed. These are for Beanfield, part of the interior for a build that he's doing for 11 Charlie. It's the seats. Got a dash for him for it, and a steering wheel. I still got to do the gear shifters. Try to get that done tomorrow so I can ship that stuff out to you this week.
It sounds good, man.
And hopefully it looks good in there, I hope. But this is not the best version, but this is a pinion holder for pinion gears. This is actually Brian's idea to have. Since he does a lot of RC drag racing, he was telling me, they take a lot of pinions and swap them out at races and stuff. So I got to reprint that one.
I guess some Lexan would be good for the floorboard, right? Because my truck, it doesn't have a floorboard in it.
Yeah, I mean, I don't have a ton of experience. I'm sure maybe AZ Froggies or even Brent might have a better idea for interior. I've seen a few different things done. I've seen where people mount the seats on the rig itself, and of course the dash into the body. So when you put the body on, it goes over the seats. My Gen 8, V1 Gen 8 has interior, and it's on something real thin, and then they took a piece of material, black material that runs like the whole length. So when you flip the body over, you don't see the interior because it's like got this false, door with this black material. So that way, when you look in through the windows when the body's on there, he's saying styrene plastic, easy to work with, is what Brent's saying. And AZ Froggies, I know he's right too. It depends on the rig on how you mount it, and that's is definitely going to play a factor.
Yeah, I'm going to try to have to build it into the rig because it doesn't have no electronics or anything. So 11 Charlie's going to have to put all that stuff in. So I'm going to build it into the body. I mean, not the body, but the cover.
Yeah, and I agree with that. Like my V1 Gen 8, I have two bodies for it. I have the original, which is sort of a basher body, and then I have the nice body with all the scale accessories in the interior, and the interior is into the body, so it's nice. I can literally swap bodies on that vehicle in a matter of 20-30 seconds. Swap it over and have interior and all that, or not, depending on what I'm doing with it. So having it mounted in the body, in my opinion, is a good way to do it. Another tire done. 3 more to do, but my other 3 are upstairs.
I was just laughing. I was like, you only got 1 more. But then I said, no, he's doing it for the 6x6.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I would only have 1 more if it was a regular rig. When I was at the hobby store last week, I picked up just 2 tires there. And I was checking out, and the owner, he's like, I've never understood why people come in and only order get 2 tires. Like, trucks have 4 wheels. I'm like, well, I got a 6x6 and I already have 4 of the wheels. I just need 2 more.
I know. I went into the hobby shop a couple of weeks ago and said the same thing. I'm like, there's 2 pit bull, rock beasts there. There's just 1 pit bull rock beast there, and it's like, why is there just 1? Someone just driving 3 tires. You know, like what the heck, man?
I even have something else I've 3D printed was these high clearance links for SCX24 C10 set up. So I printed these for the SCX24 I had, and then I got rid of it, and now I just have them sitting here. I thought about printing them just to do it in gray, just to make them look different, you know, not as bright. I'm looking forward to some good crawling in May. So, haven't been doing much crawling here recently, so definitely looking forward to it. Which drag car is that sitting there behind you, Brian?
This one?
Yeah.
That is the Traxxas based. It's a Slash based extreme racing carbon chassis, but it's based on the Slash.
Gotcha.
And then this is the associated B5, B6 based car.
Okay.
And
So
the Losi is over on the shelf.
So when you drag them, you do it like quarter mile, but what does that cut down into scale size?
132 feet.
32 feet.
Those things move quick in that time frame.
Yeah, there's some guys putting up 70 mile an hour, 2-second time slips on Facebook.
Oh. What kind of go ahead, man.
I didn't hear what you were saying.
Well, I was going to ask you, what kind of transmitter are you using in receiver?
Well, at the moment, all 3 cars have 3 different ones.
3 different ones?
The Slash has a Futaba 3 PM. The associated car has the stock Red Cat radio or Fly Sky radio out of one of the Gen 8s. And I'm not sure what this brand is. It looks like Spectrum, but it's not. That's on the Losi right now. I spent quite a bit of money on a Gropner set, and the receiver that came with the transmitter worked perfect. And I ordered 3 more receivers through Gropner, and all 3 can't get like to the other side of the room without losing range.
Yeah, my Traxxas Stampede X, what is it? The one, I forgot what it comes with, but it's only getting like 50 feet, and it's cutting out on me. I have to put my hands above my head to make it come back. The XD, is that what it is?
The TQI radio?
It's just the TQ, yeah. It's not the TQI.
Is it the AM or is it 2.4?
It's 2.4. It's on the.
I don't remember if the 2.4s had the antenna cable that came out of it, but is the antenna cable damaged at all?
No, out of the car, no, it's fine.
Unless the transmitter's been dropped a lot or anything like that, that would be the only thing that I could think of that would cause it.
Yeah, I talked to the hobby shop. I went over there and showed it at the hobby shop, and the guy's like, I have no idea. I guess I'm going to have to call Traxxas and see what they say.
If they don't give you the answer you want, there's the Traxxas trade-in program, and I think that covers some of the radios also, where you can get the new TQI ones for like, I think if you trade in your old one, it's either $40 or $50. And then you get the 4-channel receiver and the new remote.
All right. I'll check that out.
That and man, like
Oh, go ahead.
all the Fly Sky radios are excellent. I mean, I've never had a Fly Sky radio I've been disappointed with.
Yeah, I'll call my hobby shop because I guess they're doing that for the brushless system. You said you bring in your old brush motor and your electronic speed control, and you trade it in, and you get the other one for like $90 or instead of $130.
Right. Yeah, I did that. They were going to run a VXL class here locally, and I ended up trading in an old XL. It was actually an old Emax ESC and just a 12-turn motor, and it knocked down the price of the brushless system.
Yeah, I'll ask them if they do that.
So Brent's saying his Felony is probably his fastest RC. I think my Traxxas Max is my fastest RC. And he's also saying that he's had his Traxxas radio is giving him the same problem as yours, Brian. He says X-Max loses signal if it goes out too far. That's interesting. I haven't had any issues with the Traxxas TQI radios. I actually like
all the 2.4 Traxxas ones I've had have been pretty good. The old AM ones, man, the antenna wire would get bent or shortened or skin up when a car flipped and immediately go out.
Yeah.
I bet you that's what I had on my first one, Traxxas, because that thing would go out and it would just take off, man. And I'm like, oh, I'd have to run it down. Crazy.
Nina Brandon, welcome. Yeah, I love my TQI radios, cruise control built into it and everything. I plan to keep those as long as they continue to work well.
Does that have does it have like stabilizing in it too or something like that?
My Traxxas Max does. Yes.
Yeah, the newer one, if you do your trade-in deal, I'm pretty sure that both those have the TSM in it, the two different remote systems they offer on the trade-in system.
Yeah, my Max has it. And it's noticeable. It's adjustable. It's a little knob. You can turn it and adjust it. Especially when I'm out on like concrete or whatever. I really noticed it there, and it's a little helpful, to be honest, because the Max, when it's doing 40 to 50 miles an hour on the road and the tires balloon up, it gets a little crazy. So with that stability control, it helps it. Love that Max. Yeah, Brent, you should bring your X-Max to Stone Mountain. I think I'm gonna bring my Max.
In December, one of the guys, I think it was one of the local guys, his crawler gave out on him like halfway up the side of the mountain. So he went back to his car and came back with is it the Baja Rock Ray or the big short course truck that Losi makes?
Yeah, Losi.
Baja Ray or something like that.
Yeah,
2.0.
So. Yep.
He went and got that, and we were coming back down the mountain, and we kept. It sounded like a electric motorcycle, like ripping it up on the trail coming back down, but no, it was huge short course truck coming back up.
Yeah. That'd be interesting on the trail. That's a big truck. That Losi is a big truck. There was one of my locals, jumping his at USTE and the playgrounds or whatever you want to call it. Was jumping it. That thing is a lot of truck to have flipping up in the air.
Oh yeah.
I'll be back in a minute, guys.
Yeah. I'm running out of things to work on now. I might need to bring my son's model over here and work on it next, I guess.
Ooh, are you trying to punish yourself there, buddy?
Sort of. Well, because I know next time I see him, he's gonna be like, "Have you worked on it?" And so we worked on it on Saturday and Sunday, and then I had him Tuesday, and he's like, "Did you work on?" I'm like, "No, buddy, I didn't." I had him Thursday. He's like, "Did you work on?" I'm like, "Buddy, I hadn't had the opportunity. My boss came into town, so I had a busy week with work and had work dinner to go to." And so I know when I see him this coming week, like, he worked on it, so I got to make sure I get some work in on it. So I got to put some effort on top of it. It's got a lot of tedious small little pieces, and I'm just like, man, I am not used to putting these small pieces together. So like I got to really take my time doing it and let stuff sit up and dry. And
is that in your model?
For my son, yeah.
Yeah.
I gotta let his mom know, like, look, if he tries to buy another model, like, you need to find one that has a 2 on the side of the box.
Snap. Snap together.
Like, we went to the hobby store and they actually had different boats in the same exact type of model. That the hard one that he bought, and he's like, "Oh, I want this one. It'll go with it." And I'm like, "But no, no." No. He goes, "Why not?" And I'm like, "Buddy, I'm the one putting it together. That's a lot of work. It's gonna take me a little while to get your other one together." Like,
can you 3D print a model?
Good question. I haven't looked. I'm sure you can.
I took my 14-year-old with me to the hobby shop one day this week, and he discovered the flight simulator. And him being a video game kid, you know,
yeah,
he was like, "Hey, Dad, you think we can get a plane?" Like, I don't know about that one.
Simulators are more fun, man. You do crash, you can just, they're funner.
Well, one of my best friends gave me the best advice about planes when I got into RC. He's like, with a car, you can go and, kind of gather your wreckage. He's like, with a plane, you just yank the electronics and go get another plane.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did find some couple scale Japanese boats. I might have to print him one. Submarine chaser.
It's probably a lot cheaper too.
Oh yeah, I'm sure.
Yeah.
I have to print him one. And that'd be better for him to play with because it'd be a little harder for him to break.
Yeah.
I probably will print him one of those. I still got to play with those airplanes and scale them down some more for him. But as it is, I've 3D printed him Pikachus. I'm still printing this one. I got to get some brown paint for this one that I've printed him. And I've got the which I got to get my Dremel, which isn't here at my place. I got to get my Dremel so I can finish this up. I started painting it for him, but it's a Pokemon ball that 3D printed. It's actually 4 pieces actually.
That's pretty awesome.
So
you can put your Pikachus in there.
Yeah. Well, I'm actually going to glue it together so it won't come apart.
Yeah.
It fits fairly tight, but yeah, I gotta. It's got some spots in the back from where it printed. I gotta sand down. So, and Dennis says, "You always carry a garbage bag when you fly. When you race, you carry spare parts." Nice. Hadn't thought of it that way, but that's.
My cousin's into that. He goes around and he captures the Pikachus, in his phone. And he's like, I got 500 Pokemon things. I'm like, well, that's cool, man.
Yeah, I do it sometimes.
Yeah, I see him at the post office. I'm like, what are you doing, man? He's like, there's a Pikachu around here somewhere. I'm going to get his ass.
Yeah, we'll probably see we're hour and 20 minutes in. I'll probably call it at an hour 30.
Yeah, I'm just about at a point where I'm going to have to go back and watch some videos to finish or to start assembling this chassis. So,
Yeah, where you at right now with it?
well, I disassembled the front axle without taking as much apart as I could. I want to learn this camera in a minute.
Yeah, I'm still learning mine. So, yeah, I think you need to.
I know there's some trimming involved on the front shock towers, aren't there?
Yes. You basically, if I remember correctly, cutting off the top of the stock stuff, I believe. Yeah, I'm actually, without it being in front of me, it's upstairs. Without being in front of me, I'm lost at the moment. But yeah, I remember trimming on the front. I definitely remember trimming on the front. Sure. So I definitely know there was some trimming on the front piece. Because you might actually maybe you cut the shock towers off altogether on the stock part piece of it, because you have the shock towers on the new rails.
Right.
So that might have been what it was.
I remember there's trimming on the transmission case, which that one was pretty straightforward. It was just making them even. And I do remember trimming on the front end. I just don't remember exactly where it was. But looking at it, it would make sense to trim down the shock tower.
I don't remember on the transmission. Oh yes, I do remember that side where the screw comes into the side in the side of the transmission. You know, the screw that comes through the side of the
right. Yeah.
You've got to trim that down, because if not, it cockeyes that setup. So yeah, you gotta cut that down. I learned a lesson on that one, because I didn't know I needed to cut that one down. And I probably could have cut it down a little bit more. I think mine's still got a very slight, but it doesn't make a big deal. It's enough that everything lines up well enough. Like, I had it in there without cutting it, and everything worked and turned and everything. It just looked horrible.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm very pleased with that. I think I got the Predator where it needs to be. I need to do some testing with it, with the tires, the landmines. I did some modifications to them.
It looked really solid in last night's video.
It performed man, that day was the only issue I had that day was my DSM strap pulled off the hook. And I was saying at the beginning, I missed a lot of my footage. I lost it. I'm not even sure how, because I had footage from all of it. I only had, I think, 3 gates on that whole course, like all 4 stages. And so there was
fights, man.
20, 40, 60, and then 50. So 110 gates total, and I only had 3 gates.
Oh man.
That was a really, really good run. But the one I got the gates on was a difficult course. I mean, everybody was getting gates. It was difficult, but that was a really good run that day. That it was running well. Like, I was super pleased. I feel like I've gotten where it needs to be. The right setup for the most part on it. So I'm just gonna play with some tires some more. And be ready for our winter series this fall. yeah, that's about all I got going on. I was hoping to take the 6x6 out tomorrow and the Predator, but looks like it's going to rain all day. So, hey, Dennis, I got the landmines. I actually would like to try the trenchers. The landmines are the popular tire here in my area. Everybody runs them. The problem I've run into is my rig is so light on the landmines and the foams. It needs a much softer foam. But I noticed that the wheels that I have my landmines on aren't, the wheels aren't vented. So even though they're not sealed tight, they don't let a lot of air out. So I vented the wheels and that seems to have softened them up. I'm going to see if that's enough. Obviously, another thing is I can try to find a softer foam for them. I did run some crawlers that Exo Caged had that are super soft foams in them that he runs on his Superlight, and that's the difference. And I think that's the difference on my Texas Canyon Trails that came on my TRX4. It has stock foams and they're very worn, but they're very soft, and it just works so well on that light setup. So I'm hoping that vented wheels maybe softens them, just to make those landmines work better. Landmines are a good tire. And I like the way they look, just they're not soft enough. I'm looking forward to Exo Cage getting his V2 Superlight.
Use the phone.
Foams and the Scorpios. Okay, I have to look into that. I'll test these the way I have it right now, and then if I need softer, then I'll look into that. But it definitely makes a difference. The weight of the rig makes a huge difference. I think most of the time people are looking at, I got a heavy rig, I need a stiffer foam. Not too often you're going the other way. I got a lighter rig, I need a softer foam.
Well, hey, buddy, I've got a set of the V1 Red Cat foams. You're more than welcome to have.
I have a few sets of those. I'm good, thank you. I appreciate that. I love the tires, but those foams, man, foams are horrible.
I ended up putting one of the local guys got a set of Hyrax and got the dual stage foam. So I got his stock or the foams from the Hyrax and put them in with the stock Red Cat tires, and they've been great.
Yeah, they should put a set of foams. Yep. Exactly. Put a decent set of foams in those tires, and they're actually a good, decent tire. A great trail tire, honestly. So, I think I have 3 sets of those, I believe.
Yeah.
Yeah, Dennis, I'm at 4 point something pounds. I forgot now exactly what it is, but 4 point something pounds on mine. So putting 1.9 foams and 2.2 tires, that's interesting. Of course, I only have one set of 2.2 tires right now. I need to buy some more of those 2.2s. I will say you mentioned the Hyrax foams. The foams in the Hyrax Class 1 tires seem to be really good. I mean, I didn't change them out. I left them in that for my Class 1 truck. It's been very good. So if those foams are anything similar to what you're talking about, I definitely see them being a good foam.
Yeah, I mean, it's really, soft, but, not so soft that, a heavy truck would collapse it.
Yeah. Yep. Do you know what shocks you're going to run on your Predator?
Right now, it's probably going to be the stock ones. There was a gentleman I ran into at the last Stone Mountain event that gave me the part number for the O-rings to rebuild the stock shocks.
Mm-hmm.
And when the shocks don't leak, they're actually like really good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So
the only issue
I think
I
the
see you
springs are going to
having,
be too rough, though.
yeah, the only issue I really see you having with that is because that chassis is really set up for droop. Is the stock shocks aren't really a droop shock. I mean, you can sort of make them. You can play around with springs and do things to make them act like a droop. Just what I've seen personally, it don't seem like they do that well with it. So that's going to be the biggest thing. I know with Exo Cage, when he had his, it just sat too high and it sort of kills it on the performance side. Obviously, being in droop has its downfalls because you become a belly dragger, and you definitely have to deal with that. And I deal with that, but typically, I found that at least where I crawl, like, yeah, there's places I get hung up on the belly, but I can do certain things to, deal with that. A little bit of wheel speed when I'm coming up on those obstacles. I know I'm going to hit the belly on, different things we can do.
Well, there's a running theme with anything I build. I'll say, okay, well, I'm going to stick to this budget. This is what I'm going to do. And then when it gets done, it's like, man, this just needs some shocks. And then, go over budget, whatever the shocks cost. And
Yeah.
then begins the snowball effect.
I went with the really cheapies, like I know a few people with Predators, running decent shocks, I have a set of the Desert Lizards or whatever, which I have a set, and that's really for my other Predator chassis for my Class 3, but I tried it on my Class 2 truck, and they actually made it sit higher, even with full droop. It made it sit higher than setup I'm running, which is really some cheap Amazon shocks that are, I've actually even modified the springs. It came with multiple springs, but I cut the springs down to bring it down. So, it has shocks, but in a way it doesn't almost, but,
Gotcha.
But it performs. It does what I need it to do. So, and I think Joe mentioned this on one of his videos that like a true comp trawler, they're real stiff and bouncy typically. Your scale trucks, are smooth and whatnot. And he's absolutely right in what he was saying. To set up your comp crawler to compete, and do well, it ends up being stiff and bouncy. Good evening, Brent. Have a good one. Thanks for popping in.
All right, Brent.
So he's absolutely right in what he's saying. I totally see that, and I'm okay with that. So I don't really trail my. I don't think I've ever taken the Predator out on the trail, actually. So,
well, like I was saying, it's a trail on the way up, but there's all kinds of obstacles and rock formations on the sides that it's a little bit more challenging than what a trail truck, not what a trail truck couldn't handle, but I guess a little bit more than what a normal trail would have.
Here, Dennis is saying he's got a set of G-Made transition shocks. If you want to try them out, you could bring them to Scale Mountain or Stone Mountain. Scale Mountain, listen.
That'd be awesome, Dennis.
But yeah, I may. Obviously, if we go back on Sunday or whatever, obviously I'd have the opportunity to run a different rig. But I've even thought about I'll have my backpack for sure for batteries and different stuff. But I've even thought about maybe strapping my Predator to my backpack and driving whatever rig I decide to drive up that day. And that way, if there's really some stuff I really want to hit, I could always pull it down. Yeah, 90 millimeter, that'd be perfect for what he's doing. That's what the stock ones are. So that's perfect. So,
Thank you, Dennis.
So I may do that way because I'm sure there's going to be some stuff. I'm gonna be like, man, I wish I had my Predator to play on or whatever. So I'll probably do that.
I'm not sure what it's going to be like in May, but when we got to the top, there was like this like a bowl formation near the top, and it was iced over. You might have seen some of the videos. The guys got out there on the ice and were pulling donuts and whatnot.
Yep.
There's this like really steep part that they actually have a handrail for the people to walk up. Once you get past that, it's all just solid, kind of smooth, solid rock. But the trail getting up to that point is really fun.
Gotcha. Yeah, definitely looking forward to it. I mean, I know Joe's like, dude, this place is awesome. Like, you gotta go. It's interesting. I didn't know he was running 80 millimeters on his now, but I could actually see doing that and probably get it a little lower center of gravity. Even though I don't know if I want to go any lower than I am at the moment. But that's I'm definitely will bring it with me. You know, I'll either not take it on Saturday or take it up on Sunday. We'll see. But definitely looking forward to that event. So, yeah, I think we're gonna get ready and shut down. And Beanfield, you got anything you want to say to anybody before we close out?
Thank you guys for just letting me on the panel, and everybody in the chat be safe and keep on crawling.
Definitely. Brian, you got anything?
Thank you guys for having me on. I definitely see you guys next week, and whoever's going to Stone Mountain, can't wait to meet you guys in person.
Yeah, Dennis, that's what I am. I'm full droop with no oil also. So, I mean, I got some springs on the inside that are cut down quite a bit. So that's exactly what I'm running. Just 90 millimeters, not 80 millimeter shocks. But yeah, thanks, Brian and Beanfield, for being on the panel. And thanks for everyone for joining us tonight. Hope everybody has a good rest of the weekend. Hopefully if you're in an area with bad weather, yes, shiny side up. I agree, Dennis. And hope everybody has a great Sunday, and hopefully this week at work for everyone that has to work is good. And thanks for joining us. And next weekend we'll be back at it. And definitely, we got a couple weeks. So we got like 28 days, Brandon, until Stone Mountain. But I think we're all excited. Like, we're talking about it so much. I know I'm looking forward to it. I was talking about it with my buddy today who's not into RCs. I was telling him about it and everything. So I'm definitely looking forward to seeing some different scenery and crawling on some stuff I haven't seen before. But all right, guys, everyone, thank you for joining us, and we will see y'all next Saturday.
See you guys.